Whatever you do it so well that people looking on feel that the task was reserved especially for you by God Himself.
Thank you. Langston Hughes was many things. He was a social activist, a novelist, a playwright, and a columnist. He was from Joplin, Missouri. Hughes was one of the earliest innovators of the then new literary art form called jazz poetry. He's best known as a leader of the Harlem Renaissance. Raised primarily by his maternal grandmother, Mary, until she died in his early teens. And from then, he went to live with his mother, and they moved to several cities, eventually settling in Cleveland, Ohio. Donald Gibson noted in his Introduction to Modern Black Poets, a collection of critical essays, that Hughes addressed his poetry to the people, specifically to Black people. During the 1920s, when most American poets were turning inward, Hughes was turning outward, using language and themes, attitudes, and ideas familiar to anyone who had the ability simply to read. Until the time of his death, he spread his message humorously, though always seriously, to audiences throughout the country, having read his poetry to more people, possibly, than any other American poet. So because Langston Hughes was such a poet who was so widely read, most of our poems today are from him. We have about 7 poems, and we're going to start with Chuck Motes.
What happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun? Or does it fester like a sore and then run? Does it stink like rotten meat or crust and sugar over like a syrupy sweet? Maybe it just sags like a heavy load. Or does it explode?
Go ahead, Chris. This is Brotherly Love by Langston Hughes, read by Chris Thomas.
A little letter to the white citizens of the South, in line with what my folks say in Montgomery, in line with what they're teaching about love. When I reach out my hand, will you take it or cut it off and leave a nub above? If I find it in my heart to love you, if I thought I really could, if I said, brother, I forgive you, I wonder, would it do any good? So long a time you've been calling me all kinds of names, pushing me down. I've been swimming with my head deep underwater, and you wish I would stay under until I drowned. But I didn't, I'm still swimming. Now you're mad because I won't ride in the back end of your bus. When I answer, anyhow, I'm gonna love you. Still and yet, you wanna make a fuss. Now listen, white folks, in line with Reverend King down in Montgomery, also because the Bible says I must. I'm gonna love you, yes I will, or bust.
Thank you. The next poem is so short. We have 3 short poems, and I thought I would ask 2 persons in the audience if they would like to read 2 of these poems, and my friend Janice is gonna read the middle one. So is there someone who would volunteer to unmute themselves?
You're welcome. My people. The night is beautiful, so the faces of my people. The stars are beautiful, so the eyes of my people. Beautiful also is the sun. Beautiful also are the souls of my people.
That's beautiful, Veronica. Thank you.
Dream Keeper by Langston Hughes. Bring me all of your dreams, you dreamers. Bring me all of your heart melodies, that I may wrap them in a blue cloud cloth, away from the too rough hands of the world.
Thank you, Janice. And Vinetta raised her hand. Vinetta, would you like to do this 3rd one?
Sure. Dreams. Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, Life is a broken winged bird that cannot fly. Hold fast to dreams, for when dreams go, life is a barren field, frozen with snow.
Thank you, Vinetta. Reverend Thomas.
Dr. May said that the tragedy of life does not lie in not reaching your goal. The tragedy lies in having no goal to reach. It isn't a calamity to die with dreams unfulfilled, but it is a calamity not to dream. It is not a disgrace not to reach the stars, but it is a disgrace to have no stars to reach for. Not failure, but low aim is sin.
Thank you. Okay, please go ahead, Reverend Norman.
Sure. The Negro Speaks of Rivers by Langston Hughes. I've known rivers. I've known rivers ancient as the world and older than the flow of human blood in human veins. My soul has grown deep like the rivers. I bathed in the Euphrates when dawns were young. I built my hut near the Congo, and it lulled me to sleep. I looked upon the Nile and raised the pyramids above it. I heard the singing of the Mississippi when Abe Lincoln went down to New Orleans. And I've seen its muddy bosom turn all golden in the sunset. I've known rivers, ancient, dusky rivers. My soul has grown deep like the rivers. I will now read the poem I Too by Langston Hughes. I too sing America. I am the darker brother. They send me to eat in the kitchen when company comes. I laugh and eat well and grow strong. Tomorrow I will be at the table when company comes. Nobody dare say to me, eat in the kitchen then. Besides, they'll see how beautiful I am and be ashamed. I too am America.
That was beautiful. Thank you.